Good morning, everybody. My name is Stephanie. Today we're talking about employee versus independent contractors. It has always been an issue and continues to be an issue, so we're going to do a little clarification this morning, especially for small businesses. For me, it is the reason that I got into HR to begin with. After moving to this country, I've worked as an independent contractor for most jobs, which got me curious. Is that the standard? The why, the how? And I found out that independent contractors designations are a loophole for businesses to save on payroll taxes. Now, depending on the case, it can be convenient for both sides. I'm not going to argue that. But there are issues with it that come from the state, that come from the IRS. So why does it matter if you are having your staff classified as a contractor or an employee? In one moment, technical difficulties. So here's why it matters. For us in Florida, it really doesn't matter for the state. We do not have, as an individual, do not have to report any state taxes. So they don't really want the 1099s from us. However, the state does collect reemployment taxes, or formerly known unemployment taxes, from businesses, and they do audit. So they want to see all your books, including if you did pay any 1099 contractors. And if they are misclassified, you will get an interesting little sheet that shows you fees, fines, and back taxes to pay. Luckily, this far, I haven't seen one personally, but it is something to consider. The 1099s are an informal or a informational form for the IRS that shows what a business has paid to a subcontractor. It is cash paid out that can easily go under the table. This way the IRS is informed and can track the person you issue the 1099 to, that they really report their full income. Now, this 1099, using it for someone that works in an office 8 to 5, that is technically, most likely not a contractor, can get a business in big trouble. I have seen blog posts where it was mentioned that back taxes were as high as 41.5%. Now, the IRS has all this information available on their website. You can, if we can pull up the independent contractor versus employee.
This one?
The middle one. That one we get to in a little bit.
Which
that one. All right, so the IRS has a general rule that says that an independent contractor has basically the right to control or direct any of the work that they do. So if you hire somebody and you put stipulations on how their work gets done, in what time frame, etc., then you're in the gray zone. And they do have, it's a form available where you can determine whether or not somebody is a contractor or not. They have exemptions for doctors, for lawyers, that are actually independent contractors. So there's very specific categories on how that is determined. As you can see on the bottom, it says help with deciding. One is the behavioral control that shows a nice list. The financial control, if your contractor has the right to the financial control or business aspects, most likely they're not an independent contractor. So the relationship, what kind of relationship, where are we? That the business and the worker have with each other. So it is a case-by-case basis, but it is something to really look into. The consequences are steep, especially when you get caught. So they have put in place a voluntary classification settlement program that still exists, which offers a lower rate. They work with you, and this is for people that decide, okay, I see my ways were wrong, they're actually not independent contractors, and contact the IRS themselves. I know the IRS is always the big bad one, but sometimes they actually do work with people. The reclassifying will have some back taxes due, but it's definitely less than if you get audited. Now, if you are a independent contractor and you do think you're misclassified, there is forms available for that too, where you can go through, see if it applies to you or not, take it up with the business, see if you can work with the business in rectifying that. So where's the top one? I just showed you a few brief pieces of the IRS page. They provide scenarios. They have the common law rules, all the definitions for any worker classification. There's not just regular employees and independent contractors. There's, I believe it's like 3 more. I don't have them all memorized. They have all the forms available, and they provide assistance for both the independent contractors and the employers that are unsure and that may need to change something. But in general, one rule they have is that an individual is an independent contractor if the payer, meaning the employer, has the right to control or direct only the result of the work and not what will be done and how it will be done. So that is their general rule of thumb. Now, the voluntary classification settlement, we touched on that briefly, is the best way, in my opinion, to change your independent contractors to employees. There is a lot of information going around. Nobody likes paying taxes, that's for starters, but if you have been given the information, hey, just hire them as independent contractors, it'll save you some money. It will, but in the long run, it'll cost you more, especially if you get caught. For more information on that, I did provide the link on the bottom. The IRS.gov page is full of information, and not just in the regard for employee versus independent contractors, also on any tax provider. If you have any questions, I mean, we're available to you throughout the week, extended hours during tax season. But if you're unsure, they have a directory that gives you all the tax preparers. Enrolled agents are a great resource. Use them. Get your information from the source and stay out of trouble. Now, we have not just HR, and again, there it is. As far as anything business is considered, business development, IT, taxes, right now, very important. Any virtual administrative services, which one did I forget? Our QuickBooks Pro Advisors.
Business development.
We can help you with all of those. Yeah, we have our little motto with delegate. But call us anytime during tax season. We're available from 8 to 5 on Monday, and Tuesday through Friday from 8 to 7. And Saturdays we are here from 9 to 2. Also, any inquiries can be sent with email, or you can just use our website. We have a little contact us form there as well. So if anybody has any questions, let's see.
If anybody wants to ask any.
If any questions should come up and you watch this later, feel free to call us, because it can be a very touchy subject. And like I said before, that is one that got me into selecting HR as my field of choice, because it just didn't seem fair. Why should I have to pay 15.3% plus all of the taxes due on what I made? For not having the option of a second job, for not having the option of my own timeline. So, all right. There's no questions right now. This one was short and sweet today. Like I said, any questions, the number is 321-236-2771. If you want to send us a quick email, comments, concerns, questions, the email on the screen is the full email, but we have a shorter version, the info@brp.team. It's brand new, so we'll see you next week. I believe my Tilly will have some tax forms that she wants to discuss with you. You all have a wonderful week, and see you next time.